animal is and what's my most memorable memory of it. And that is a difficult one, Holly. Oh, there goes the woodlands. Oh, we got all the family together. Actually, you can see that, yeah, definitely a couple of young stallions. You can see the size of them now, slightly smaller than the adults. The stallion was the one second to the back, actually. So the stallion actually has a group of females. Depending on how successful he is, he might have up to 5 females, sometimes 6 if he's very successful, and they will stay as a family group. There he is, that's the stallion there. So those are his sons. Oh! Beautiful. You can see why they have that collective noun, the dazzle of zebra. I think everyone is aware of my love of leopards, but I also have a very deep love for the rhinos as well. There we go. These two still having a go. But the memories, oh, I've been so privileged to have so many memories. I think one of my first memories of really having a wonderful view of the leopard in the tree, I think it's definitely got to be up there. It was about 5 meters away, and that was the first time I've ever seen a wild leopard so close. But how is this, eh? 2 zebras sparring, learning how to fight. You can see sitting down actually stops the opponent actually biting the legs. Oh, fantastic. Going to bite each other around the neck as well. So that mane's going to come in useful to protect the neck. Oh, oh. Now males actually have slightly larger canine teeth than females for that very reason, to assist when they're fighting. There we go. Welcome on board this morning from New Jersey. Oh, that's really gotta hurt. Anna wants to know, is it true that a zebra can't hold the weight of an adult human? And yeah, zebras actually have the kidneys slightly higher up apparently. It's not good for it. I think they can actually hold a human, but it is to do with the placement of the kidneys. And zebra do have quite a big chip on the shoulder as well. They don't really appreciate being ridden. Well, they're really going for it this morning, eh? From Kentucky. Marshall wants to know, do the females go off to have their babies alone, and do they have the babies at night? And they do tend to split away from the herd, just so that the baby can actually start to recognise the mother. So the baby actually imprints on the mother, so once the baby comes back to the herd, the baby will still follow mum, whatever's happening, and she knows that is mum. So the rest of the group are family members, but baby will follow mum no matter what. Very important. And as to the time of day, I'm actually not sure when they would actually give birth. The night would make a little bit of sense for the cover of darkness, but not so much for the predator activity. I'd have to actually look that one up for you, because I've not heard of when zebras give birth. What time of day? I would say probably early morning, but difficult to say for sure. Wow, these two are really giving us a show this morning. Absolutely fantastic. Now, zebras, even though the different species of zebra have stripes, you can still tell certain species apart because of the length, the width of those stripes. And up in Eastern Africa, you get the Grevy's zebra. Now that zebra, the whole social structure is very different to the zebra down here. And select which male she wants to mate with. So it's a very different social structure. They don't stay as a herd, as a family herd. Whereas these ones will stay as a family for pretty much the rest of their life. The males will actually start moving away from the herd after about 1.5 years, 2 years or so. Once they start getting a little bit boisterous, males will stand very tall and really announce the fact that she's come into estrus and she's ready to mate. So she'll stand tall in the hope that any males in the area will know. They really are full of beans this morning, eh? We've got a few of the Impala just mixed in from that larger herd I was talking about. There's a few more just to the left of it, sitting in the shade. There we go. Very normal to see kudu bulls together, especially when there's no females around that are in season. Some areas the kudus have a breeding season, some areas they don't. Unless anybody out there can look that up for me, see if they can find anything on the internet to suggest when zebras give birth. I guess I'd say early morning. This male's actually got quite a dark face compared to the other male. Yeah, you are stunning. Wow, look at that spread. Sure. Extremely wide. Almost got like the two extremes side by side. Extremely wide and extremely narrow. Be interesting to interlock so that they won't move. But animals don't always fight. And as I was saying earlier about injuries can become a problem for the animal, and it can become life-threatening. So animals actually avoid conflict even as far as when a female's concerned. So what will happen is they'll go through a lot of displays to try and work out who is bigger. Now if it's very obvious, they don't even go through those displays. But if they're fairly evenly matched, then they'll go through the displays of showing off how big they are. So with the kudu, you'd have them sizing each other up, and that's when animals will quite often be side by side, and they can kind of guesstimate who is taller. But if they're still not able to work that out, some animals will use their voice to try and call louder. Some animals will even make themselves look bigger by arching the back, like the Nyala do. The Nyala actually arch their back, and the fur stands on end to just try and give them that little bit more height. But if they still can't work it out, that's when you get the fight. And it's not to try and kill each other, it's the test of strength. But unfortunately, sometimes when they are so well evenly matched, it's very difficult to tell who is the stronger of the two. It can last for quite a long period of time, the fighting. Sometimes they can actually just drop down through exhaustion. Sometimes they can go as far as actually killing each other just because they're so riled up that testosterone is pumping through the body. But it doesn't happen as often as what you might think. He is majestic, hey? It's got to be one of my favourite antelope. Today, eh? Amazing. And that thorn we saw the giraffe eating yesterday is one of those that we can actually eat. It's a bit like spinach, a bit like baby spinach. You can eat the young leaves especially, but the other leaves, not really. But there are, if you know where to look, there are ways and means of catching food if you want to catch your own food, like franklins and things like that. Otherwise, there's the berries, there are the tubers, which do contain moisture as well. This is obviously the behaviour of the hyenas as well. And as I say, that for me, I love seeing the animals and the birds, but the interactions is really what I love and enjoy sharing with you. And I'm so pleased that so many of you were able to join us this morning, and thank you so much for all your questions. It's been wonderful having you on board. Andrew, thank you very much for your camera work, and back in front of control, Brian and the thumb, sending through all your questions. From myself, I hope you can join us this afternoon here on Wild Earth. We're going to be hopefully catching up with the young male, but I would love to catch up with his mother, so we'll certainly try this area, see if we can find her, and you never know, maybe she might show us if she has got a cub. It'll be interesting to find out, but who knows, this is the bush, anything can happen. But do enjoy the rest of your day, have a good sleep if you're joining us from wherever you are in the world at night, but take care, bye for now.